How long after did you realize it was the right second toe?
Like I said, I saw the requisition slip into the lab, and I said, wait a minute, that's not right.
Well, when did you send the information in with the requisition slip?
Immediately after the treatment was performed.
That day?
It was either that day or the next day when they picked it up.
Okay. And when did you fill out the requisition form?
It might have been the next day.
And at that time, you filled out that requisition form for the left second toe, right?
Right.
Okay. When you got that information, did you do anything with regard to contacting the client or her healthcare proxy about the results?
No, I didn't, because I wanted to get the final report before I did anything.
Right.
I wasn't 100% sure that this was indeed an infection at the time, and I thought prior to instituting an antibiotic, I wanted to make sure that there might be something that, that would indicate to me that it was more than just contamination that I was working with.
So when did you get the final report?
I believe the final report came in on 3/06.
Well,
although I don't know that, I think I got it faxed to me. I don't know that I actually got the actual final report until maybe the 9th. But I think it was faxed to me, and then based on that fax, I think it was that same day that Mrs. Weiss called me coincidentally, and I told her that I asked her how the toe was looking and how it was feeling, and she said that it was no better. So I instituted an antibiotic at that time. Once I got the final report, I didn't want to base the antibiotic on a preliminary report. I wanted to make sure I had the final report.
And when you received the final report, did you call Mrs. Weiss about that?
No, because it was at that time that she called me.
And what did you tell her?
I told her, well, since the toe is no better, we'd best put her on an antibiotic.
And at that time, were you talking to her about the left toe?
No, I was actually talking to her about the right toe.
And
the right second toe.
And when did you change your records to refer to the right second toe?
I believe it was right about the time that this report went in.
So you changed it before that report went in?
I changed it with
the form. That's not what he said. Go ahead. You can answer.
I changed it when I realized that it said left second hammer toe.
Okay.
I must have looked at it and said, that's not right. It's not the left second hammer toe.
Well, we've already discussed that report went in the day after you saw Mrs. Geschwind.
Right.
Okay, on the 28th
Right.
of February, 2006.
Right.
Did that report go in talking about the left second toe or the right second toe? Did you change it before you submitted it?
I think it went in as the left second hammer toe.
Okay, so why did you look at the report again after that?
Because I was going over everything.
When?
You're talking about 3 years ago.
Obviously, but there has to be a period of time that something had to have happened to make you look at the record again if you were just waiting for a result.
I realized that it wasn't, what I had put down in my notes based on that 227 visit wasn't right.
And when did you go over the records to see that that wasn't right?
It was right about the time that this lab report went in.
That was on the 28th.
I might not have seen it I might not have noticed it the very first day. I was going over my lab report results.
So the results had come in before you changed it.
Which results? You had preliminary results?
I had preliminary results and I had a final result.
All right.
So it may have been right around the time I got my preliminary result.
So you really don't know when it was?
I can't give you a specific day after I saw Mrs. Geschwind determined that, you know, that this wasn't the right toe that had been submitted. It might have been 2-3 days after the fact that I realized.
Now, on February 27th, 2006, did you only work on one of the feet?
No.
What'd you do on the other foot?
I inspected the left second toe, and that appeared to be better than it had been on the prior visit. I wouldn't say it was totally healed, but it surely was not the problem.
Where does it say that on your records?
It doesn't say it. It doesn't say it anywhere.
But if you do something with regard to a patient, aren't you supposed to note it in your records?
Yes, you are.
So why is it not in the records?
It's a good question. I wish I had done it differently. I wish I had made a note of the improvement in the left second toe, but I didn't, because I think I was totally focused that day on the right second toe, which is really the problem on that visit.
And every single place that there's a toe mentioned, you actually wrote it down as left, and then later came back and changed it to right on this record from February 27th, 2006, correct?
Yeah, it looks that way.
So you never mentioned the other foot, whether that was right or left. You never mentioned the other foot.
Yeah, I was so focused in on the right foot that I neglected it.
You were so focused in on the right foot that you were writing down continually as the left foot, correct? Yes?
Object to the form, that's all you meant.
Yes.
If you look at the records from January 31st, 2005, you have a subjective category there, and you put some information in there. Can you read that?
My toenails are long and hurt. I also have a painful third right toe.
And who told you that?
Me?
Well, who told you that?
Well, I never really had a conversation with Evelyn. I didn't even think she was conversant